Well, it's Friday, November 12th. I don't really have much to talk about, but I guess the only thing is I bought some comfort, I don't know, not jeans to lounge around in, loungewear, I guess. And it's just 100% cotton, and I don't know, they're comfy, they're light, um, and I guess it's different for me because I pretty much just wear jeans all the time, and it's comfortable. It's what I'm used to. It's part of my uniform. It's what I'm just. It's like the white T-shirt. I've always wear it. Well, almost always. It's just my uniform. That way I don't have to think about it. So, anyway, uh, like I said, I don't have much to talk about. Um, so I don't really know why I'm really. I was about to take up my contacts to lie down for my long sleep of the day, and they're still doing construction downstairs. And as far as other things, I still don't know what's going on. I have no idea if there's anything. Um, I'm still paying attention. Um, Still pretending that I'm somehow part of something, uh, a project of some sort. Or I don't even know what I don't even know what I think anymore. I'm just going along with whatever and letting myself believe whatever it is I tend to believe because I want to believe. But how real anything is, or whether I'm just being tolerated at this point, because I really am no harm, you know, which I still worry about. But if somebody, they just don't have to look at anything. They don't have to interact. They don't have to read. They don't have to watch. Um, and yeah, and I have no idea if anything of what I do or write or record is even being paid attention to, because I see things, but that could just be coincidences, or I'm reading into it stuff that's not there, and that sort of thing. Confirmation biases. It could easily be about anything else or anyone else. I just fancy myself somehow involved, because that's what I want to believe. And anyway, it's not a bad thing as long as I don't, as long as I don't let it become a bad thing. It could, I don't know. I'm getting some interesting work, um, interesting thought patterns. And I think if I am somehow having some sort of impact or influence, um, hopefully it's constructive and not destructive. Leading them down avenues of thought that they wouldn't have otherwise. Maybe eventually they would have arrived on their own by various other means, or by other influences of other people that they might encounter throughout the rest of their life. But they happened to encounter me when they did, and I noticed them, and yeah, and I liked what I noticed. So I kept noticing, I keep noticing, and I keep paying attention. Too much attention, I think. And I think they would agree with that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know them. I still don't. And so, like, everything is how it is, um, whether I like it or know it or not, or appreciate it or not, or agree with it or not, is for a reason. And it's okay. But I don't know. I sure would like to know sometimes. And it's like, where do I come up with these ideas of things? And it's like, I sure do put out a lot of bold declarations out of nowhere sometimes, and it feels like it's been building up, and it's like, so it's like I'm really glad for those moments where I don't get too scared to just go ahead and say what I gotta say, because those are like true moments, I guess. Well, not that anything else isn't true moments, but they're refined moments where it's like I feel comfortable, confident, and safe enough, secure enough to be able to, say a little bit more, and say it a little bit less censored, less censured, or some, and it doesn't mean it gets the response. It doesn't mean it gets a validation or acknowledgement even always. If anything, it might just be a little bit scary and like, oh, okay, well, thank you. But I don't know. It's hard to say if it's even been read. It's possible it hasn't. Which means that it's like I'm totally in the clear, and I'll just have to say it again at some point. Haha. But it's all there. I don't recant and I don't repent any of it. And it seems like I don't relent either. I just keep going. But I do try to keep it where it's not. I just don't want. I no bullying, no harassing, no unwanted, over-the-top attention. I just try to, stick to the background, and it feels like whenever I go away for too long or go silent for too long, then all of a sudden I get a little bit of somebody checking on me. At least that's how it used to be. I haven't gone away in a little while. I just kind of keep paying attention, looking at things that are shown, and I don't know. Somehow I react or touch on the things that I feel like need to be touched on a little bit more, or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it could just all be my imagination. It could just be much ado about nothing. I can't say. But it is something to me. Something more. So, or I could just be entirely delusional. That's always a possibility. I just have to accept that, and decide for myself how okay am I with being okay about it. So there's that. So I'm trying to have fun, if I remember to let myself not take everything so seriously. And I am curious, ever curious, to know if they even are, what fraction of awareness they are of the level of interest I have. And if that's a bad thing or not. Because it might be. Because pretty much everything I've said, all those bold declarations, they have not been tested. They have not been, not that I've noticed. They're still just maintaining their boundaries, and it's like, okay. So at this point, I was thinking just earlier today that they are going to have to, if they're, it's like, how many more times? I don't know. They might have to really, approach me if they, want anything different. I think they're okay with things as how they are now. They don't really want anything more. I want something more, as far as conversation and communication and collaboration and cooperation and all that stuff, correspondence. But they are okay with how it is now. They perfectly content with the limited dimensions. So my emotional maintenance is up to me, as it always has been. I don't rely on anyone else to have my back, which is sad. I've got people in the rooms of recovery. Yay. But it's a lot more than what some people have. Some people have nobody. So I've got that, and they've got all the people, all the internet people, as well as real life people, I'm sure, on their side, which I have no idea about. But they've got the people on the internet, different platforms of all different shapes and sizes and consistencies and backgrounds, to rally to help and cause and concern, to lift up spirits and things like that, where I don't get to, I could try to participate, but it's a world stage, and I stay off the world stage. I don't have much of a place there, I don't think, so I don't bother. There's too many voices, too many opinions, too many causes, too many arguments, and it's just, I can't tell what's real and what's fake and what's artificial and what's true. It's just too many people. So I just resign myself away from the rest of the world. I don't really belong there anyway. So it's just too much for me. And I'm okay with that. The internet could die away and I'd be okay. I'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's like how it was before. Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, like I said, I don't have much to talk about. Just my usual gambit of subjects. I really hope they're reading my writing, though, because I've had some really good rambles recently. And I kind of, in a weird way, want them to have read them, because even if it doesn't get attention or it doesn't get approval or whatever, I kind of want them to be proud of me, proud of the progress I'm making, or proud of what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, or something. I don't know, because I'm proud of them, because they have gone since I first encountered them. And they have come a long way with their confidence and their style and their personality and getting over grief and anger, not getting over anger, but accepting anger, accepting grief, and becoming more like themselves. And it's enriching and emboldening, and I like to think that I've helped to facilitate that endeavor, contributed in my own way to the natural growth and development of another human being in a positive way, bordering on negative. Those were the times where it's like, okay, so. And it wasn't, they had to, express their boundaries, and all I had to do was, So I don't know exactly what it's like for them and how they process information and sensory inputs. And some of I can be intense and overwhelming and demanding and stressful and emotional, and I am too much like them, basically. So, except I don't know. There's differences though, but it's strange. It's At least that's my impression. I've never met them, so I don't know. I'm just going by my senses, which are skewed and flawed, and it's my perspective, so anyway. And also I see what I want to see and think what I want to think and all that stuff. So I'm still just I am more taken with them than a year ago at this time, and it's just taken on different meanings, so different fundamentals, and and if they want to be alone, that's fine, of course it is, because that's their decision, and all that. Yeah, yeah. But it would actually bother me more. I've thought about this. It would bother me more. Like being alone is okay, but if they all of a sudden just met somebody out of the blue that just kind of said the right things, spoke the right words, just it's like that would just be like, aw. So, anyway. But I would understand. I wouldn't like it, obviously. And the same thing goes for me. It's like I might meet somebody too that just all of a sudden just grabs my attention and doesn't let me, because I usually have a way of, ignoring people and getting them to go away, by not paying them attention. But there's possible. There are people with personalities that are not to be ignored. So it's just I still have my ways of, yeah. Because I already have somebody I'm interested in, and I already really like them, and my attention is smitten still. So it's like sometimes when I'm just smiling for no reason, and people don't know what I'm just off. I'm just writing. I'm just thinking, and I am just unavailable, kind of, for anybody else that might take an interest in me. I'm just, even though there's no official anything, I'm still emotionally unavailable because I'm already emotionally attached. For me, an emotional connection, emotional involvement has been established, and it's okay until it's not okay. So for right now, it's okay. But there's no guarantees, of course, that it'll remain okay for me as it is currently in this situation, which it's just a situation of mine. There is, no one, as far as I know, there's no one else involved in this relationship besides me. I can, other people have the same sorts of things they could be in a relationship with some personality on TV or a movie star or something, or an author or anybody that they've met, and it could be a one-way relationship where they have like a fixation or an obsession that is never going to be realized, or theoretically never going to be realized, an impossibility or an unlikelihood, improbable. But still, it doesn't change their feelings. And as long as it's not stifling them or impeding their ability to function on a day-to-day basis, then who's to say that it's a bad thing? If it's helping them to keep them going, to prop them up a little bit, I don't know. I think being aware of it is healthy, but then also being and knowing, in a way, on one side of things, an awareness of being okay with it changing and letting it go when the time is right, if the time ever becomes right, to go ahead and be okay and be ready for it, because I don't have a say in the matter. I only have a say in my my end of things. But if it changes on their end and they just meet somebody, or they just decide to be done with the internet and just go silent, or just ghost off somewhere, it's like, that is their prerogative. That is their life. That is their right. So I don't have to like it. I don't have to understand it either. I don't have to approve of it or comprehend it. And the same thing goes for me. I could just shut down, and just because I've thought about it a lot. I just haven't done it yet, because I don't want to yet. I haven't gotten so anything to actually follow through, because it's easier to just keep going even through uncertainties and doubts and darknesses, and let my mood settle even when I'm upset, and then not, just let the status quo be the status quo, and let my mood just kind of fade into the background, and let it average out. And no one has to know, and because there was no sign, there was no signal, nothing changed on the surface. I just went quiet for a day or two. There weren't any changes of any kind. No. So, anyway, carefully conscripted words. But still, this is unpracticed, unrehearsed. So, anyway, no one makes it this far into these videos at all. Nowhere even close. Not even clicking through, I don't think. So it's like I am well in the clear to be able to say whatever I want. Aha. So, anyway, I don't have anything additional to say, though. All of it would just be, more conjecture and hearsay and theory craft. But I'm still working on things. Still trying, but then also trying to let go. But I can't seem to do that. It's like I try to, okay, I'm just going to pay less attention. It's like I haven't been able to. Maybe a day or two, and I try to go away, and then I convince myself that I need to stay, because I convince myself that I might be like one of, not the only, one of the only stable elements in their life, in a life's record of instability. And I know they have their people too, other people, other sources of stability and all that stuff. But maybe I get to be one too. And if all of a sudden I just disappeared or stopped paying attention or stopped interacting, that would be an uncertainty undesired. And I don't want to cripple, sideswipe what is apparently becoming a good recovery from their emotional turmoil. Maybe. I don't know. They seem a lot better off than they were a year ago. So, who knows what they were like. Yeah, so, and I'm okay. This is nothing. Having feelings, it's difficult for me. But I wouldn't trade it, I guess. It's better than how it used to be. So it's like I'll deal with it. I'll live. I'll get over myself. Whatever. I don't know. I'm tired. So I'm gonna go. Anyway, a little sad, but I got new loungewear, so there is that. And that was my ankle cracking, because my ankle cracks. So every so often. So, yeah. And they're breathable, I think. And they're just kind of nice. Nicer than wearing jeans. Just, So, anyway, that's it. I guess I should go then, even though, yeah. That's it.